What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday at our regularly scheduled time. We did it.
We're doing it. Look at us.
I did pick the wrong book, but it's okay. Kristan read it, so it's fine.
Yep.
Because your girl forgets to. Everyone in the chat remind me that as we say things, or you remind me, to just put in my calendar. The second it happens.
I always have notes here, so I'm just ready.
I've got my Outlook open, like a dingus.
It's fine. It worked out. It's all good.
Worked out. All right. Well, we're talking about Clementine and not Illyria. Illyria's next week.
This today, next week.
Granted, we didn't tell them. We talked about after the show, so that's okay.
True. That's true.
All hail Fangirlz birthplace of Omnibussy. Thank you. Thank you all for spreading Omnibussy. It's great.
There was like a flood of it in the chat with Jess and I yesterday, and he was avoiding it like the plague. Like just like did not want to say it.
I love it. This makes me so happy. It really does. I know it's so annoying.
He was so mad about it. He's like, "Where's this coming from?" Someone was
me.
Like, it was copyright TM, Maddie.
It's me. And I'll continue the Omnibussy until people stop recommending Warren Ellis.
That's
once you stop recommending Warren Ellis, and I'll stop.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy.
Yeah, it really is.
It's a nice nonviolent threat, I'm not going to harass you on Twitter. I'm not going to do any of that, but
I think it's fair. I like it.
Hello, Chris Brogan. Hi, friends. About to drive with my mom. Going to listen to the show in the car. Oh,
Harry. Thanks for listening.
So first of all, we should talk about our lovely sponsor, InStockTrades.com, where you can get your books up to 50% off. And if you spend $50 and you live in the US, you get free shipping.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. Love that. Love that for us. Love that for you.
And the packaging you get. It's fantastic. It's so good. In fact, if you haven't used IST, I'm
surprised.
But you need to, and then you get that box, and the first time you open it with the foam,
feels so good.
Look a little treat. Wow.
And there's so much stuff in there.
Yeah.
It's exciting. Great. I thought you were starting at 3.
3 what time? 3 maybe somewhere?
You never know. 3
Is it 3 somewhere? Yeah. We're usually at this time lately. The past few months, I want to
say. This is the default time. We just, it happens other times.
Sometimes we move around, but.
Hello, fellow humans. Hello. How bold of you to assume I'm also human. That's true. Let's talk some Clementine. So Clementine just came out thanks to Joe.
Mm-hmm.
We both have signed copies of Clementine, which is very exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Even shipping all the way to Sweden works great with IST. Oh, that's cool.
That's beautiful. I hear that with a lot of like international people, they'll like save up a certain amount to get the best deal. Yeah. And then it's still like better than, getting it anywhere else, which is awesome. So check that out.
So this is by our number one girl, Tillie Walden. I love literally everything she puts out. I'm very jealous that Joe got to meet her. I would like to meet her because it's not like she goes to conventions often or anything.
Yeah.
Which I get. I think that would be anxiety inducing. But oh man, I love this because this is based off of the Telltale Walking Dead games. So I will say that by reading this, there are some spoilers for the game. Yeah. Not a ton, but they're like, especially like the big thing of the first game is spoiled.
And even the fact that she's still alive, I think, is a spoiler.
Which is incredible. Of course, she is the main character of Walking Dead in all the later installments. And that is still my favorite version of Walking Dead. I've watched the show. I've read the comic books. I literally lived across from the hospital where Walking Dead started in the comic book. But this is Walking Dead Telltale game is my favorite version of it. To me, I think it's the most entertaining. It's the most interactive. And I would rather play that a million times than... I was a big fan of the comic book. I'm just going to come out and say it. It was fine.
I only read
not this one, but like Walking Dead. Sorry, Robert Kirkman.
I read like half of it.
Kentucky person.
I really liked half of it. I haven't read the rest, so
yeah.
But I also love the show. I haven't seen the last few seasons, but
spoiler for what, a 15-year-old game. Yeah. yeah.
Well, yeah.
yeah, which I still super recommend. To me, that's one of the best experiences I've had because I would play with friends fun. And we would we'd take turns on chapters who's playing, and we would collectively make decisions together because your decisions affect how people view you, what's going to happen in the game. Mm-hmm. Really enjoy this. So watching fun. While I walk the dog. Say hi to the dog for us. Aww. Hello, Jesse. Say what? Remember starting the Telltale game years ago. Yeah. So this follows Clementine, the main character of that game. This is years into it. So it's not going to be a Clementine you're used to saying. She is now 17. She thinks.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And when you first meet her, I think she's probably like 8 or 9 or something. She's young.
Yeah.
I only seen this first season of this show, which is fine, but I didn't feel the need to keep watching. Well, luckily, just play the game. Let's play the game. Read this book. It's good.
Well, yeah, and this has really nothing to do with the show or the comic. I mean, it's in the same universe. But
yeah, but that's literally
you don't need to know any of that.
And really, you don't need to have played the games to enjoy this character. You just know you're going into a story where this girl, Clementine, has been through it. She is basically, for the majority of her life, been in
the
Walking Dead time.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, she lost her parents when she was very young. She was saved by a man named Lee, and ended up kind of being raised that way, but has basically, after a lot, been very self-sufficient. And has also recently lost part of her leg, as you can see on the cover. And she's just making her way. You don't know exactly where she's going or why. We know she's going north. And it sounds like she's saying residence when she says where she's going, but she does not give to everybody else kind of what her deal is. And on the way, she's makes a couple of new acquaintances and also kind of deals with some trauma because she's really closed off at this point, of course. And meets a bunch of Amish people, which I thought was very cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we can jump into that part first because I thought it was really... I know she didn't spend a lot of time there, but it was very interesting to see that, like, of course the Amish community is doing well.
Yeah, it's something I hadn't even thought of. Like, I don't remember seeing that in the comics or the show, from what I've seen at least, which was very interesting and did make sense, right? It's like, oh yeah, of course, they're self-sufficient and they have, all of these resources that I think the average community, like us, would struggle with because we don't have electricity. We don't have, like, these things, right?
Yeah, and I don't have, like, a community that knows how to build things or do, like, make food,
Yeah.
I couldn't grow a thing.
Yeah, I get it, yeah.
And all of the, and knows how to raise animals and do all these things. So, of course, they would have a society that's already self-sufficient and also self-sustaining. Mm-hmm. So when this happens, they basically, okay, well, we're going to be even more contained. We know that they have stopped Rumspringa, which is that year. I know we have some international viewers who may not know about the Amish community here, but Rumspringa, where they have, like, you reach a certain age and you are allowed to go into the world for a year and then decide if you want to come back or not. And so we meet a character here, Amos, that is he is carrying out the first Rumspringa since what he refers to as the Cataclysm starting. And also, I like that they refer to the walkers, the zombies, as devils. I love when different communities call them different things. I love when Walking Dead said walkers.
Mm-hmm.
I love that they call these ones devils because like, oh, have you seen a lot of devils out there? It's like, oh, that's interesting.
And that would make sense, right? We wouldn't all have the same vernacular for this.
Yeah.
And was she, like, originally Clementine, she's on crutches for that, like, her foot is missing, something happened, Yeah. And she runs into these, like, 3 Amish girls and they're like, do you need help? Are you okay? And she's just like, no, I'm good. I don't need this, And somehow they convince her to, like, come into their community, which really ends up helping her a ton because there is, like, this doctor there who's able to help fit a prosthetic to, replace what she's been using. It's not perfect. It couldn't be, right? But it's way better than what she's using, which is just, like, probably
old bandages. She's not washing it because she doesn't know to. Right. I mean, she entered this very young. Like, you and I would have that knowledge. I mean, she barely even knows how to read.
Mm-hmm.
like, you and I would have the knowledge if we're going into this, like, okay, we should dress a wound and wash it. I may not know the best way to do it, but I know I need soap.
Mm-hmm.
But she's like, oh, why do I have to wash it? He's like, oh, yeah, you gotta.
Yeah. This could be bad news. Yeah.
And it's so neat because what's interesting here is that she is so jaded, and I am too as a reader, and like someone who knows Clementine and loves Clementine. When she enters this village, they're so friendly. And I mean, like, when she's like, I want to get out, I'm going to be here, I'm going to leave. And they like outfit her with everything she could possibly need. They send her with food. He sends her with all of like the materials. I mean, to give her a prosthetic, give her the tools to fix a prosthetic, give her instructions, give her bark, give soap, bandages, all of these things. She could stay there and be safe. But she has gone through so many situations of going to new places, new homes, where she thinks everything's going to be okay. And as she details in here, it always falls apart. There's always, they always have a plan against, like, or you know, they're shady, like, or they're cannibals, or, you know, any sort of
terrible happens. Yeah.
Yeah. Or it's like you have a dictatorship sort of situation or something. And it says so much about the character right away. To be given this basically like utopia kind of esque place that she could be and be safe, where people are healthy, taking care of each other, they're happy, they have rules, but they're safe. And she's like, nah, I'm in and out. Does not even sleep there for the night. She shows up, gets the stuff, and just dips. So interesting.
And it's sad, right? It's like, you know, you get to that point, but then it's like, how do you not be that way after everything that's happened to her? That's been her entire life. Plus, as we find out later in the book, sometimes when you end up, yeah, okay, fine, I'll actually trust these people, it doesn't go well. And it sucks.
Yeah. And so, yeah, then we go into Amos. So is this not the sweetest bean?
He's lovely.
And honestly, I think it was important for her because he's lived in the community so this whole time. He hasn't had the outworld experience in many ways that Clementine has had. So he has like a horse, a buggy. He's packed 16 shirts.
Yeah.
Which I love that little joke she makes. She's like, oh man, if you had 17, you'd be fine.
And he's like so excited about everything. Like, here's just his face seeing things. He's just thrilled to be out of his community and like experiencing the world. And she's just like, why would you like this kind of, you know? It's not great out here.
Yeah, and he just kind of convinces her. He like warms his way. It's like, well, we'll just go together. I'm already going up north too. Let's take turns. My horse Helen seems to like you. You just ride in the back, take a load off, sleep, whatever. Like, let's just go together. And I mean, he is like he's really pushing just being positive. They save some people in a horde and then just leave the care. He's like, Clement's like, I'm out. I'm not staying with these people. And then he's like, comes back with the horse and not the carriage. He's like, oh no, I left it for them to have shelter. And like, this is too much for my horse Helen anyways. Let's still go together. He's like, just come with me. I'll give you the horse when we get there. I can't bring her up the mountain where I'm going. Love him. Love him.
Best attitude. Yeah.
But then we get to the mountain. Yeah, I know, Chris. We can talk. That was rough.
Yeah.
Listen, it's not a horror game or movie or book if they don't kill my horse. Spoilers.
Yeah, every time, right?
Every time. They can't allow me to get close to horses in post-apocalyptic universe as a media.
Like the moment she had a name, I was like, oh no.
Damn it. No.
What happens, Helen?
Don't do it. Because they meet the twins down there who they do not provide names. For reasons. I never really figure out why.
Yeah. I mean, they had weird views on things anyway, right? So.
Yeah. He went there because he heard there was a plane up there. And Amos was like, for Rumspringa, I want to be in a plane. That is what I want. I'm going to go up there. I'm going to do whatever so I can be on a plane. I know I'm not allowed to, but I think they'll forgive me. It's like, yeah, like the horse is for us, right? I'm like, yeah, we'll bring up the horse. And shoot the horse. I'm like, no.
Very upsetting.
Very upsetting. But I really love the whole exchange up there on the mountain a lot.
Yeah.
I do think with this art, it can be hard to tell exactly what's happening. And that's just Tillie when it's like a big thing. And it's black and white, this book, too.
Yeah.
But I think that added to the scariness and like the like the hopelessness of the situation, and like it worked for this.
It really works. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of dark moments too. You know, like this is like they're in a cave, which is understandable that everything's kind of muddy, and you know, there's a lot of snow happening, and it is clear when they're out in the open.
Yeah.
But I think with the Walking Dead comics, it's similar too.
Oh yeah.
You know, like when there's a lot of stuff going on, it gets a little muddy, and her memories are very clear. I love that part too. Like there are a lot of moments where you get flashbacks to things you remember in that first season, especially because she was so young. She dealt with so much trauma, especially at the beginning of dealing with everything. And of course, Lee and everything that happened there. That's very much like, again, I don't think you need the background of the game to enjoy this.
No, she details it well enough. You can gather it.
Yeah, you can understand what happened. But knowing, like, having gone through it myself, I feel like it was an extra bonus to, like, see those things come back and be like, okay, she's still carrying those things with her. And I just read this and be like, same Clementine. I feel like I'm still upset, you know?
She's like, I'm still just waiting for him to come back and get me. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And of course, like, oh my gosh. And just, there's that whole bit where there's a couple bits where she finally unloads about what she's been feeling. And I think it resonated really well, at least with me. I hope with other audience members too, where she's like, I was open. When I was younger, I was cool and I was like fearless and I would talk to people. And when I got bit, that's why her leg's off. Because in Walking Dead universe, if you get bit, as long as you cut the limb off right away, you're fine. Mm-hmm. I was scared. And I couldn't talk to people. And I had people my age I could talk to, but I didn't want to talk to them. I wanted to talk to someone older, like Lee. Like she wanted that kind of relationship to like, because I mean, your childhood was stolen from you. Mm-hmm. It would make sense to be like, but I need to be dependable with my peers. I need to be this, but they also don't feel as close to me because I'm not sharing. But what she wants is a more like parental older figure to be like, this is what I'm doing, like dealing with. This is my trauma. Please give me advice as someone who has lived life, or like someone to be vulnerable with. And so she just totally closed herself off. And it's so interesting to read because I think that would happen in regular life. It just is a very extreme with zombies around.
Yeah. And this whole book is really her experiencing other people her age or around her age, which I think is new to her too, you know, because she's forced into situations where she like kind of has to give them the time that she hadn't previously in her life. And she's meeting all different kinds of people because you have, you know, the Amish boy who's very loving and positive and open and happy, to the twins who are not that.
Mm-hmm. and to, what's her name?
I was just thinking of her and I can't think of her name either.
Rachi, or was it? Rika.
Yeah, Rika.
I switched the A and the I. Rika. I loved her relationship with Rika. And of course she's into Rika. Come on.
Yeah, I mean she's
a young girl in a post-apocalyptic. They're all gay.
Well, and it was immediate. Like you could tell that immediately. And again, it was something totally different than all of her other relationships with these people.
Yeah.
So you know, it was another girl around her age who was treating her differently than she had been treated by anyone else in the story, but also like throughout her life, I feel like.
Yeah.
And that was really nice to see too.
Yeah, because I like that Rika was like really snarky with her and kind of sarcastic and playful, and also had an awareness of Clementine and what she's dealing with that Clementine didn't have for herself. Like she could tell what Clementine had been through, that she needs to chill out a little bit and let people in. Like when she threw the snowball and Clementine because of PTSD, immediately just like jumped on her like to beat her up because like she doesn't even have the fun aspect is not anywhere here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was fascinating too. Something like I feel like I haven't explored. I mean, it's not an obvious point to put in a story that I think Tillie did really well, because it's like, of course she doesn't have that. Of course there were these things that she wouldn't have because she did not have an average growing up that, you know, we've all experienced. And I loved seeing that. It was so interesting, you know?
Yeah. Because Rika just slowly kind of breaks down our walls a little bit, because we have the snowball incident. We have like when they ride on like the snowmobile or whatever to like survey the land, but you know that she kind of milks it a little bit so they have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Because she knows this person's not going to open up to her until she like lets down some of that. And ultimately when they have their big moment in the pit, which I won't spoil. I was getting into old reader, new reader mode. I was going by detail.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure I don't do that. Where there was like a closeness. And I think Clementine realized after that, because at that point, right, where Rika's like, you went through this thing, you told me these, and like you didn't even you went through this thing, things happened, and you didn't just tell me about it. I'm not just a person. I'm not just a random person you don't know. Like, don't you want to give me a heads up about what's happened with your like life and what's going on? Like, aren't we at that level? Mm-hmm. And she slips like, I'm not asking to be like your girlfriend or whatever. And I think that's when it's like, oh wait,
yeah,
this is something different. It was neat.
Well, and even like you said, I mean, you dropped the fun word. I feel like, what a good point. I don't think Clementine's had fun in her whole life.
God, no. Maybe a little bit, but it is immediately ruined every time.
Exactly. So she's probably, I mean, of course she's built these walls, but like she's probably closed herself off to anything that resembles any sort of joy or happiness. And how sad is that, you know?
Well, because even you as a player, when you're playing the game itself, like, I'm just waiting for it to blow up because it's going to. So it's fun right now, but it's not going to continue being fun. They are going to take away all of that from me. And they do every time. Mm-hmm. So of course she feels that way, because I also don't trust any of this.
Yeah.
It's going to fall apart. Of course it does. Cool stuff happens, and things turn out better than I expected them to. And that is a low bar.
It really is. That's a good point too. Like, you know, reading this the whole time, I'm like, okay, is this person gonna kill her or try to kill her? Is this person gonna try to kill her? Like,
are they gonna die tragically? Are they gonna get bitten and she has to kill them?
Yeah.
Like, what is gonna be the thing that happens?
Yeah, because every time it has to. This world, it's terrible.
And I loved it. I loved this read. It wasn't. I will say, it sounds like we're being very depressed about this. It wasn't so depressing that I wouldn't just reread it right now.
Oh, not at all. Yeah.
Because I really liked it. And I'm stoked there's going to be another book. I'm so excited.
I believe there's going to be 3.
Yes.
I think that's what I heard.
Well, now I need to catch up, too. Because she mentions things. Now I want to, like, go play the later stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel the same. Or I just feel like I want to replay it all, too. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is great for, like, anyone who's especially if you played the game, you need to read this.
Yeah.
If you like the world at all, you need to read this. If you don't think you do, but you love Tillie, you should read this. Like, I think it has broad appeal. And like Maddie mentioned, like, there's a lot of bad reviews for this. I don't know who's reading this and not loving it, because I loved it. So
yeah, I'm very surprised.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Everybody has their taste. And I'm sure, I know that Tillie's probably not everyone's taste. There's probably some people who've never read Tillie that are reading this just because of the games or because of Walking Dead. They're coming into it from a different background. This art's not for everybody. This style's not for everybody. The storytelling is not for everybody. But it's for me.
Yeah, me too.
As a Tillie diehard, this is what I wanted. Thank you. I can't believe I would have never thought in a million years that this would be the collab that would happen. Can people give Tillie more stuff? I want Tillie to write everything I love.
She's working on something I love, so I'm very excited about that. So
what's she working on?
She's working on the Tegan and Sarah graphic novel.
I remember that.
Great series. Yeah, so that's my dream collab. This is also a dream collab. Tillie's killing it. She's doing all the great
proud
things.
of her. I like to talk about her as if she's a friend of ours. That she's like some unknown creator that we just like hang out with, and I'm like, I'm just so proud.
She's doing real good. Yeah,
there's so much is happening for her. She's gonna meet us and be like, "Why are you guys like? We're not a little too into me. Yeah. This is weird." Like, no, listen, it's fine.
I think you're great.
This just reminded me that I need to go ahead and review this on Goodreads. So.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
I give it 5 out of 5 stars.
I do too.
It's what it deserves. We gotta get that rating up, guys.
Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, it's got a lot of really like low ratings. I'm very surprised.
I know, Chris is making a lot of reference in the chat. Obviously, Chris has read this. Did you love it too, Chris? I assume you did because you're talking about it. But just curious. Also, Babylon Shadow says it being in black and white is a real turnoff for me.
That's fair.
I mean, all the Walking Dead comics are. It makes sense tonally to keep it that way. I will say, I believe you're a manga fan, so you must enjoy some black and white, right?
Oh, some of these are just like they don't understand story-wise because there's a character that Clementine was with that is not with her here.
Oh,
so people are upset. And it's a trilogy. It's 3 books, so like you don't know what's happening where that person is.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. It's not like it may very well go into that. Yeah,
it was mentioned in here. There could be a reason.
Exactly. There's always a reason, right?
I think it's a little too early to say that because they're like, why would you make a book about a game you've never played? You don't know that, and also you don't know what direction. It's not like.
Of course, she's played the game. She's not going to do the book if she hasn't played the game.
And also, if you think about it, if you're making a book, we're just like defending her. I don't know. I don't know what she's dealing with. But I'm assuming if you're making a book for an established property, certain choices do have to be approved.
Oh, yeah.
Or guided as what is allowed to be done.
This is not a creator-owned book either.
No.
This is Skybound. Robert Kirkman is the head of Skybound. Like, he will make the approvals in his world as well, I'm sure.
Yeah. I'm sure that it'll fit the long-term narrative. So
Plus, again, 3 books.
I don't think it's fair to rate something on whether...
No. We don't have the whole story yet. Not at all. People.
Kristan, I gave it a 4. It's a 4 out of 5. I really liked it. It's just not a 5 to me. I wish Goodreads allowed half stars. I do too.
Yeah, me too.
I can't imagine how long it takes till they do a page. There's so much going on. I know. And sometimes it's too much for my brain because I'm like, I don't know what's happening. And I love her. Like, on Sunbeam, there's so much happening. I'm like,
well, and anytime there's like action, sometimes, I mean, like in this too, like if there's fighting, I'm like, I don't know what I'm looking at, but I'm into it. Like,
yeah, it doesn't take away from me. But I also understand it would for some people. I just prefer my comics to have color. Manga usually has better panel structure and flow. Comics tend to jump around more and not care about page composition too much. That's very fair.
That's fair. Although I will say,
super fair assessment.
I think the way she handles panel work in this is like very well done, very clear. I'm trying to like hold it with one hand. I just got ink on my other hand. But I don't know. I feel like it's very easy to, we were talking about there's muddy moments, but that's really just in the dark cave that I can think of,
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of like here's some, flashbacks she has, which are very beautifully done. Yeah. I mean, that whole Telltale game, it was made for me. Basically, like, if you give me a father figure, basically, like a guy who's on his own and has to take care of a little kid, I'm there. I don't need much. I mean, that's why you love Stranger Things, right?
Yeah.
Come on. You got tons of that in Stranger Things, actually.
Absolutely. Just put it in anywhere. And
it's the best.
Oh, you know what? I love that. Tillie's art is vibes, not full art accuracy. Absolutely.
That's fair.
I agree. Because I could tear apart different books for that, but this doesn't. It's a case by case basis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For this, I'm like, no, it's good. And I do realize I'm a Tillie stan.
Oh,
so
of
like,
course.
We have some biases going into this.
Absolutely. However, I mean, I'm very open with my favorites too. I will be honest and open with my favorites.
Oh yeah.
If there's something I didn't like, I'm gonna tell you. But I love this, so you know.
Absolutely. And I always have preferences in people's books too.
Yeah.
Like for Blue Delaquanti, I don't like Meal as much as I love the other books.
Mm-hmm.
But I like it.
Yeah, I feel the same. It was good. Not as good.
No. I literally just started Stranger Things on episode 5.
How do you feel?
Look at this.
Well, if they just started Stranger Things, they don't know about it.
I just want to share by in the chat.
No, it's a great shirt. It's a great shirt.
Yeah, that's all. Just wanted you guys to see it. I'm excited for you, Babylon. That's exciting.
Also, you said you're a fan of the game, so you're still going to pick it up. I think that's a great choice, and let us know what you think.
Now I want more comics based on the game.
Oh yeah,
just give me more.
Give me, you know what? Give me everybody else who we don't, or like the moments we didn't see in the seasons.
Yes,
if there's like some stuff between that would be very interesting to see.
Certain characters that we didn't see that came back later.
Yes,
which was very exciting for me. Yep. And then they crushed me about it. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, absolutely. That's exactly the comic I want to see. I want to see that. Yes.
Never would have thought I would love him as much as I did.
Oh, of course.
And I remember just sobbing because I was so happy to see him. And then they were like, "But do you want things to get bad?" I'm like, "Oh, stop!"
They have to make you happy just to hurt you.
I know.
Every time.
Yeah, I'm pushing him to go through it so we can watch the latest season together. Nice. That's one of the shows I watch by myself. So. Did you see the last episode? I haven't. I'm a little bit behind, so I was going to watch it all together in one. The problem is I can't stop watching One Piece right now. We've watched 60 episodes of the Wano arc.
Love that.
And it's so good. And it's hard for me to watch anything else. And Ellie and I are watching Miss Marvel together, so we just want to keep watching One Piece. Oh my god, it's so good. I can't wait till we read it. And let's pick out little episodes for you to watch so you can love everybody as much as I do, because I'm like... And honestly, I want us to take our time with it. Mm-hmm. It's so good. It's so good. I need figures of everyone. And they introduced like 20 new characters, but I need every one of them. It is going to be overwhelming for you. You're going to need to watch some of it, because if not, you are not going to remember all these people.
Well, I'm already to the point where we are so far removed from the last time we talked about One Piece that I'm kind of like, maybe I need to go back and just watch some of it to refresh my brain before we start reading it again.
And all we need to do is like pick a night and we can watch it together on Discord or whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't mind making a Fangirlz Discord. People can come hang out. We just watch the One Piece movie together or whatever, or make like a Netflix party link. Mm-hmm. If people want to watch it with us, just so it's a little collective thing.
Yeah.
Because I think by watching the movies, it'll be enough for you to remember people a lot more.
Yeah.
And get a little more attached. So when they do show up, it doesn't feel like, oh, I kind of have a vague memory. It's you see their colors, you see their mannerisms. And I just found about this other pirate crew that I didn't know about from the old days. And a guy from Film Gold was on that pirate crew, which means that it is canon, this guy. And so I need you to watch that too.
Okay.
It's going to be in theaters, by the way, again, this month.
That's fun.
Yeah. It's a Fathom event, so I don't know if your theater gets that, but...
I think I saw some anime movie that we're getting, so I think they do it.
Probably. Do you get to see where Luffy walks past Big Mom and Kaido? Not yet. I'm in the flashback with Odin right now. Oh my god. Oh, it's so good, Kristan. Everybody's so good. Oh my god. Also, there's a trans character, basically. I need to see what Oda has said about it.
Okay. That's cool.
It's confusing, the wording, and sometimes Oda will come out later and be like, oh, actually, that's not what it was. But I was like, but everything you're giving me language-wise is telling me that's what this is. So I'm confused. But very cool. What's up, everybody? What's new? What are you guys reading? What? Multiple trans characters. Okay.
Yeah, Babylon Shadows is saying Will's mom is his favorite character. She's good. Choice is great.
She's great. She continues to be great.
Yeah. Yep.
At that point in Stranger Things, Hopper is my favorite character for a long time.
Yeah. Well, and even season, like, because I'm in my rewatch. I'm in season 3 now. Went back. And it's so, I mean, watching that first season, I'm like, oh yeah, Hopper was like aggressive for a while. And
it's season 2 and 3. I'm like, well, because he becomes a dad again.
No spoilers, I guess, but it's so good.
I mean, nothing.
He's so good.
Yeah, trust me, seasons 2 and 3.
Even the end of 1, I feel like. I mean, toward the end of 1, you start feeling Hopper.
Did you see that Babylon I got just to say on a bus like 3 times on live stream? I heard about it. I'm so thankful. I heard more people did it in your stream together yesterday, and he was annoyed, which just makes me happy.
Yeah.
I love it. I already love him good. You're going to love so many people. And they just add more people to be in love with all the time.
It's so true.
Just when you think, like, right now, Steve, for you, probably, like, this guy's fucking asshole.
Mm-hmm. Just wait.
Omar already has, I think, in the stream yesterday by reading it out loud. I'm not sure, but he's like, what? What is this? And James sent him a link. Reason to come to Indiana, someone made a giant portrait of Eddie Munson in a cornfield.
What city is that in?
Yeah, I'm going to be in Indiana in like a few weeks, so I'm sure that won't be there. But I do love him. I know that eventually this hyperfixation on him will go away, but right now it is alive and well, so.
Well, I shouldn't say that. Never mind. I think you know what I was thinking, maybe.
We can talk after about my D&D based theories for the next season.
Yeah.
That I will hold true to. I read Saga number 60. I haven't. I'm a trade waiter. I don't know what's happening.
I don't know what's happening with the current stuff either.
And I have to keep it that way for my sanity. I'll wait for another nice like deluxe or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, so we know what y'all are reading, kind of. And we have plans for the rest of the month. We know what we're doing. But next month, if anybody has suggestions, let us know.
I want to read One Piece. Please and thank you.
Let's do it.
And I'll just give you some movie homework and some episode homework so it's not so overwhelming.
Just give me a list so I can start early.
I mean, it's on Netflix, so.
Well, I mean, even just like, I'm like, where are we? So I'm going to need.
Oh, yeah. I have to go back and watch the last episode we did. I don't know how to feel about Steve. On one hand, I relate to him because I used to be similar in high school. On the other hand, he thinks with his dick too much.
That's true. Or at least
true. Yeah. And that part doesn't stop.
That's fair.
But he's delightful. Yeah. I don't have any other updates.
Yeah. I don't know if I do either. I mean, I told you last time I want you to read May's book.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to talk about that sometime, I think. That would be a good one.
TMNT The Last Run would be a good choice. I finished it yesterday and loved it. I've actually never read any TMNT, so
I haven't either. Is that a good choice for someone who doesn't know anything, James?
I've seen the movies.
Right, yeah.
And I watched the cartoon, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Have you read Mamo? No. I have not. I will look it up. I just brought up a restaurant. I should have put in book. Oh, this looks cute.
I'm gonna look it up too.
Oh, this looks really cute. It's by Boom. There's a cat.
Oh yeah, I've seen this cover.
Reading Skyward hardcover and finally got Berserk Volume 1 yesterday. Can't wait, although the backlog is huge. Hey, that's for all of us. Yeah. That's the life of reading. I don't know anybody that's like caught up on anything. I really want you guys to give Kairos a shot. It's short. I know you'll love it. Again, I should write book when I look up stuff.
I've seen this cover at the library.
Yeah, me too. Well, let's do both of these.
I mean, if I can find them, sure.
I'll put it in our list of ideas for the month, so that way I don't forget.
Okay. I'm writing them down as well. This is for a second? Yeah, for a second.
I'll see if my library has them. Man, that's with August. That's bonkers.
That is so weird, right?
Yeah. Okay, Kairos memo. All right. Well, I reckon we can end the show early.
Sure.
I don't have anything else going on. Normally, I can just fill the space.
I know. I'm like, what? My rewatching has just been Stranger Things, so I got nothing there.
Again, only One Piece.
There you go. So
it's only One Piece, and then I play Slay the Spire, and that's literally all I do. Well, I did move. I'm doing house stuff, which is why I have my camera like this, because if I don't, people will be like, why is there so much shit on your floor? What's that about? Why do you have a luggage bag? Are you on a trip? No.
Are you on a trip?
Oh. Vampire in the Garden on Netflix is a new short action heavy Yuri anime.
Oh, hold on. The Vampire in the Garden.
Okay.
I'm writing it down.
Let me watch that while I'm at work, while I don't do anything. Who cares? That's what you do, guys, when you're done. Just watch anime at work and apply to jobs instead of working. Don't tell my boss. I do work, though. That's not true. I do my stuff, but I also watch anime. All right. Okay. Ask away,
yeah,
and then we'll go for the day.
Is there more Yuri anime on Netflix? Does anybody know? Do you know? I need more of that. I need more accessible things to me.
I don't know, but you should just be watching Comey Can't Communicate because it's still going.
I know. I need to get back into it.
Oh my god, and it's so good. It's so good. It's got a dub that makes it easier for you. You
had me watch the first episode when you were here, remember?
Yeah, watch more.
Yeah,
because
I need to watch more.
I think I'm gonna buy the little Nendroid figure of her because she does a little cat ear thing, which is like,
oh, she's so good.
I think season 2 just ended or something because she's.
At
the end, she starts her sophomore year. On the episode where Levin shows up, the song White Rabbit plays when she uses her powers, and when it says "and the Red Queen," it blurs out because she used her powers. Is she meant to represent the Red Queen? I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that was just a song choice.
Yeah, the manga is so much better. Oh, than Comey, the anime. I'm sure it's very good. I
love the manga. Yeah, I've read like half of it.
I've watched the whole anime. I love the way the music plays. I love the design of it. I love the way the characters look. I definitely want to read it also. It's on my list. After watching a few different anime, there's some manga that I want to buy from those anime. So like, I want all of Comey Can't Communicate, and I want the Nendroid figure of her. And I found some cute shirts on Etsy that I also want.
Love that.
And I also, after watching Dress Up Darling, I want all the manga for Dress Up Darling. And same for A Sentence of a Bookworm.
Yeah, I need
Except because I looked up the manga, and there's like calendars or whatever out for it, but it always shows her in a relationship with this guy in the book who is kind of like her ward, like her mentor, who's like an older guy.
Oh.
So I guess it's like in the future. I'm like, is this going to happen? Because right now, I know she was an adult in her past life, but she's 7 in this book. So people just already shipping them ahead of time, knowing they're going to be together when she's older? I don't understand.
Is this like a weird Big thing?
I don't know.
Because if you watch Big now, it's weird.
Yeah. Well, and this is already weird because it's an adult, and it's just I'm very really confused. I don't know. But
I
still.
Volume, which that did not happen in. So
if you remind me, I'll give you my Crunchyroll login because it's on there dubbed.
Okay.
Oh, God, it's so good. And there's a ton of Yuri manga or Yuri anime on.
I know. I need to
Crunchyroll.
Do that. Yeah.
It's hard to find the good stuff because like it tends to be the same type of like we're in high school and we're shy, nothing happens.
Right.
And then you also deal with a thing in Yuri anime where like it's not explicit that they're like in love with each other. Sometimes it's like a weird like beautiful friendship. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Like the stuff that I grew up with, like Maria-sama Megami Teru, the Virgin Mary is watching, it's hard to describe it. And then you have like things like Strawberry Panic where it's like, oh, we're all in love with the girls. And it's like to find the medium where it's like the real stuff is hard. Do you guys like yaoi manga? Because I have some top tier recommendations. I'm open. I am not into that as much, which makes me an outlier. I'm into it if it has really good like story and stuff. I'm not into it if it's just like for the spice.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like I've read like Blue Flag. I really like.
Yeah.
And that's just like they're all sweet and not high school kind of stuff, you know. And there's some other ones like that I've read, but never like the stuff marked BL in a store that's shrink wrapped, you know. That's not my jam.
Yeah, because I have a lot of friends that are into that, but I'm like the most I can handle is Junjo Romantica. I just love the animation; it's funny. And I did play Dramatical Murder, but that's just because it's a dating sim, and it was pretty. I'm not there for the sex. I don't know why to say it like that. I can say sex. I'm an adult.
Can't you?
It's funny in that way. I feel like it's my mom shows up and she's like,
just whisper all the things that.
Yeah, it's the ASMR channel. Yeah. All right. Well. Oh. If you like, yeah, do you mean to say Harry Potter? Oh, and yeah, we Harry Potter and Beastars. Okay. Oh no. I'm sorry. I can't. I have it. I bought it because it's pretty.
Is that the one that was real weird?
Yeah. I just thought the age differences in this were weird. And then like the Bat Twincest stuff.
That's what I remember you saying, yeah.
Because the art is beautiful. I bought it for the art because I was like, this is my kind of thing. And I love Beastars. I love all that kind of stuff. The problem with a lot of yaoi stuff and yuri stuff is that there can be some problematic relationship types in them. And I'm not saying that everything has to be okay in books. Because I love romance books where like the power plays are a little messed up. You know, like it's sexy and I don't want it in real life, but I like it in books, right? Oh, this prince kidnaps you and then you fall in love with him. Not in real life, obviously, but in a book, I'm fine with. I love Beauty and the Beast. I know what I'm about. But I was like, the Twincest thing was really weird. And then there was like the huge age gap relationship. The rest were fine, but those two, I was like, we can't be doing this anymore, you guys. If you're gonna do Twincest, which don't do it, don't have him be like 5.
That's not good.
So gross. I just literally just made a post on Reddit about problematic romance manga. Yeah, and I've read some stuff. I've read some things. It's like going back to a Usagi drop. We're like, this is great. And they're like,
oh, God.
And now they're married. He raised her.
I read like the first, I think, volume or 2, and then I heard about that. I was like, I can't finish this. This is not
so gross.
Because it's a lovely in the beginning, you know.
It's just
no.
You know, Japan's made some things, and I grew up with a lot of it. So like, there's some things I've read that now I'm like, oh God. But yeah, he just literally at the same time wrote Bunny Drop. I will never recover that they did that because it was perfect. And like somebody who writes something like that must have been planning that shit for a long time. You know? What would it say about you if that is what you write?
It's messed up.
And that shit happens in real life and it's gross. Right? Like what, Elon Musk's dad just had a second kid with his stepdaughter that he raised?
No.
Woody Allen? Gross. I don't eat that in my books. Keep it out. Throw it away. Put it in a little garbage. Throw it and burn it.
In a little garbage.
We grew up with Inuyasha, toxic relationships. See, I can deal with a toxic relationship in a book. if it's like a manga or something, or like a romance thing.
I feel like there's a difference between toxic and like disgusting, right?
Yeah, there's a difference. Yeah.
Yikes.
Because like I read a lot of Shishomaru Kagome fan fiction growing up. Okay. I'm so mad Kagome didn't choose Koga. Oh, what a great choice. Have you read or watched any, Ashley?
No.
Oh man, what a life you live.
Yeah.
On the outskirts of what anime happened to everybody as we're growing up.
I mean, I know what's involved. Well, I don't know what's involved. I've seen covers of it. I've seen images, but
man, it's probably best. It's not like she really gives you any conclusion to anything. And then they made a new show. They're like, what if Shishomaru had a kid with the kid he raised? I'm like, oh, that's gross.
I don't know.
That's gross. Have you tried watching Yuri on Ice? I did. I liked it.
I think I watched like an episode or two and I liked it, but fell out at some point.
I'm not as into. I'm not a BL person as much as everybody else is. I like it in like in Western graphic novels, but I don't know. It always gets really quickly like weirdly kind of fetishized by women. I feel like in like the manga community, so I pick and choose those that I like. And I think it's totally the audience's fault for me. I'm like, oh, I like this. And they're like, I like this. These men are always together and you're wrong. I'm like, slow down. I mean, I know. Listen, at least in the manga, Mamoru is in high school and she's in middle school. And like the anime where they're like, I know we need to make these girls cousins, but these two, put Mamoru in college. I didn't even think anything was wrong with it at the time because I was a child. All right. Anyways, we'll be back next Sunday with Illyria.
Yeah. This one right here.
Yeah.
We did it finally.
Yeah. And Ellie will be here probably. And on Tuesday, if anybody wants to come hang out with us on Near Mint Condition at 8 p.m. Eastern, we are going to be talking about Nice House on the Lake.
That's right.
Let's get
spooky times. Yeah.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Yeah. Thank you for being here. Check out InStockTrades.com.
Check it out.